we're back. You know that yesterday we had our stream go out towards the end of the weathercast. There was a device on the network that was pulling internet content for an update, so if that happens again, if you lose the stream, just check in the next day and chances are we might have fixed it there. Okay, anyway, I can see that we're dropping no frames, so things are looking good. And I was just looking at this College of DuPage here. We haven't really looked at their website much, but there's a lot of good content on here. I was figuring we could probably look through a little of this. If you go to their weather analysis tools and analysis products, there's an assortment of products here. Surface charts, upper air, and then of course the elusive isentropic maps, and also some cross-sectional analyses for the central plains. Now, of course, digital atmosphere, I've got that where you can do it anywhere in the U.S. I guess we're not going to have a lot to look at tonight, but I can probably put one up here. Let's see. Everything is pretty isothermal. I'm not sure what to go with, really. I guess I'll try this one out to Wilmington. Let's see. Yeah, let's try that one there. So this is showing us a view from the surface up to about 30,000 feet there. So down here we have the ground, and we're looking from about Denver all the way across to Ohio. Now these are just mapped to the individual radiosonde stations. This is not model data, so you're going to see this kind of wavy appearance here. But we can still extract some useful data. You can see the potential temperature surfaces, the red there, kind of packed together a little bit, and that's indicating probably the top of the front, maybe something like that right there. So out west around Denver, they're probably getting a little bit of southwest winds there, bringing up warm air. And then back here in the plains, we have the cold dome. So temperatures, potential temperatures are lower in this area right here, down to about 287 Kelvin, which is going to be in the 50s for temperatures. Okay, doing a quick check and making sure audio is good. Okay. So there's our cross-section analyses, and of course there is the upper air charts, and one I can probably show you here is the 850. Now their charts are pretty good because they actually use dew point temperatures instead of dew point depression. Let me see if I can bring that back there. Okay, so very dry air apparently here at Little Rock, minus 40 dew point. There at 850 and increasing to about 0, which is about 32. And highest dew points that I see, I got a 26 here. Okay, okay, minus 26. All right. Anyway, that was weird. I thought we had dew point depression being portrayed here. And then down at the bottom, you can see a scale there, which shows that the green is going to be your higher dew point values. Okay. Take a quick look at their soundings. Usually we look at the University of Wyoming. We can take a look at their soundings for Fort Worth here. Looks like a fairly dry air mass, and you can see right above 850 millibars. Dew points are definitely down to minus 30, minus 40. So if you try to get a parcel going in that with maybe 77 degree temperatures, you're still not going to be able to clear that cap. You're going to need the temperatures to be pretty much up in the 90s for that to happen. So if we were up to 95, temperature section would look like that. The moisture would look like this here. And then the lifted parcel looking like you see here, and then the lifted condensation level way up at 14,000 feet. So this is going to favor high-based cells. So you probably see a lot of precipitating altocumulus on a day like that. All right, and one other area we can look at, of course, is in California. MICAR reporting they're adding the snow totals in feet in the Sierra Nevadas, and a thunderstorm passed directly over the Golden Gate Bridge. So there's some of that humid air down below 15,000 feet. And pretty good southwesterly flow there. Try taking it down to Edwards Air Force Base. That's old data showing the 21st of February. So I guess we'll go to Southern California there. And the sounding there looks a little bit slightly more tropical in that area. Okay, as far as what's happening, there's kind of like the key to what's happening. So definite frontal system through central Nevada back into the San Joaquin Valley. So possibly something like that, or more likely, I guess maybe something like that, going by that precipitation band right there offshore. So yeah, there's our frontal system there in Kansas. So we've passed through that on the cross section when we were going from Denver to Wilmington. So you were seeing a little bit of that frontal surface going up and over this cold dome there in Illinois. However, out to the west, warm air advection is underway, and we're going to see a warm up here over the next few days. So, pretty well-defined system there in California. One way we can look at it is on the SPC charts. And what I've brought up here is the velocity tensor magnitude, and I'm really just kind of looking for the potential temperatures here. This comes from the rapid refresh model, and looks like a little banding in this area. I think we're seeing a little bit of the adiabatic warming on the lee side with those values there up to 296. That's temperatures at 850 millibars of near 70 there. And then on the other side, probably a cold front in that area right there. And then possibly, maybe we've actually got something like that going on. In any case, it's a very weakly defined front. So you have to kind of use all your tools to find that. Now, the actual velocity tensor magnitude does help us to find the fronts. So this is a product I recommend using. And yeah, offshore right there, that's not precip. That's areas of heightened velocity tensor magnitude. So that's basically where there's deformation of like a cube of air there. So offshore, a lot of that going on there, and possibly extending up into the Bishop area, and you can see that wave being indicated right in this area here. So there's probably a surface low right there around Mono Lake and Bishop. And looks like that connects up to another wave there. So possibly something like that, or out up into Wyoming like that. So that's the picture of what's happening there, and south winds there at Las Vegas. It's always a sign that you're in the tropical air. I think I'm going to look at one regional picture. We'll use the Southwest US one. So we do have a front in that area. We're starting out the chart here at 13Z, so we're probably looking through the San Joaquin Valley, maybe something like that there. So it's a very weakly defined front, but I guess that's probably it there. Typically winds behind the front are out of the northwest in the San Joaquin Valley. However, tonight we've seen them kind of out of the light south there. So probably that's due to the very strong occluded low that's up off the top of the chart. So let's see what's going to happen over the next couple of days. That cold front, you see the winds here around Mojave and Edwards Air Force Base coming around to very strong westerly, probably indicating frontal passage there. And then the next to go would be around Las Vegas there. So the winds there should turn eventually northwest. So warm up during the day. Looks like it's still pretty warm there in Vegas, up to 60 degrees. However, the front is close at hand. And let's go into tomorrow night. And you can see the very strong westerly component there developing in the Las Vegas area. So at this point, it's probably pushed into Arizona there. So this is tomorrow night around 5 in the morning. Then after that, just Pacific High moving in. And much colder. And there's those westerly northwest winds there around southern Nevada. Okay, not a whole lot of weather going on. We've looked through the majority of the charts. There's the picture right now. And let me take a quick look at the chat here. See, we got Ron Chalfant there in Southern California, Ryan Toomeys. Mother Nature nuclear winter has gone off in the Northeast. Yeah, we can see a little bit of it up here. I don't know if we have any viewers up there or not. Most of our viewers are in the Midwest and out west also. Flights canceled all up and down the Northeast corridor. Burl H. liked the discussion on baroclinicity. And Mike R. joining us from Northern California. And hello to Adam Davis. Ghost 17S is up. Yeah, thanks for that run. Fun with Tech is here. Mr. Manlet, 34 degrees in Rockford. Electric Dog is here. Ryan reporting lower 70s in Florida. Light rain where Ron Chalfant is there, and pretty much northeast of Los Angeles up in the mountains. Mike R. reporting an avalanche in Squaw Valley. Marginal risk for Sunday from Mr. Manlet there on the plains. And Mike R. reporting crazy rain, sun, thunder out around Northern California. And Mr. Manlet, surface analysis showing a high-pressure area across northern Lake Michigan. Carl Berghoff says, remember to like. Yeah, appreciate that. Jeff Krob is here. And Mike Estwick and Beware Cleaver. 51 degrees in Denver where Mike Estwick is. So yeah, it is fairly warm. Water vapor imagery looking like this morning. Or this evening. Looks like a little bit of jet stream activity has moved into northwest Mexico. So we're bringing those very warm shades close to the area of ascent. So that's probably a good sign that there's a jet max in that area right there. Subtropical jet extending into Texas, and then the polar front jet, we find that probably from north of this shield here. That's this other Pacific system set up something like that. Jet flowing around like this, kind of into the base of this trough on the west coast, and then extending possibly up to Montana. And then the main occluded low, still offshore, west of Oregon. Okay, quiet night. We'll head into the forecast here. There's our system there in the western U.S. That's the simplified view, and I think we did place that front kind of down like that right there. And then that connects up to the plains. So cold air advection in the east coast area there. There's our system there in northeast U.S. Looks like it's all rain. Only when you get into upstate New York, it turns into snow. And I guess I don't have digital atmosphere up, so anyway, yeah, snowstorm taking place there. And that's going to be dying down gradually there in New York. So low heading offshore, and the snow starts dissipating a bit. Meanwhile, the Pacific system is moving inland. And we can see by Sunday that's already coming through the Rockies right there. We start developing that lee side trough in Colorado and northeast Mexico. So starting out Sunday, we may have some thunderstorms that day. So we start out today around 18Z. Looks like that front is still pretty well to the west, which means we don't really have the benefit of forcing. A lot of the stronger short waves are still going to be out over the high plains. And if we're well capped, that can be a significant problem there. The phasing of the upper lift with the heating out on the plains. I don't know. Could happen up in the Cap Rock, but that front does look like it's pretty far back at that 18Z hour. And then by 0Z, looks like the front is coming into the Dalhart area. So we're looking at something like that. The dry line, however, will likely be active. And that's probably going to be out here somewhere. And the model breaking out a little bit of precip there in western Oklahoma, but you notice it doesn't break it out in the Texas Panhandle. So we may be very well hurting for cap erosion and moisture. A lot of the dynamics also going up north into the Nebraska and Dakotas area. Finally, the cold front emerges into the low plains overnight. So that's pushing into Dallas there. Looks like the main Bear Clinic system heading up into Missouri there. So looks like some heavy precip there for Illinois and Missouri. Late season snowstorm for the high plains there. Also, possibly a little bit of cold core action Monday. Maybe some convection there in Iowa. Rest of the front comes through Texas on Monday, and then Tuesday, the front makes it into the southeast U.S., so it looks like some storms in that area. The main occluded system still remaining up north, and that dissipates and opens up by Wednesday. Then looks like a lot of cold air advection works into the area east of the Rockies, so it should be pretty cold around midweek there. The next weather system comes into the California area Friday and Saturday. This is almost a week. It's almost a carbon copy of what's going on now, down to the day. And let's see, is that it? Let me see here. Okay, I was hitting the wrong button. There we go. Okay, then getting into Sunday. Now this system looks a little bit faster. So pretty fast crossing of the Rockies, and then by Saturday night, cold front coming into the Panhandle there. This is 0Z, but we're not going to be able to estimate timing this far out. This is a 204-hour forecast, and this could definitely air 12 to 18 hours each way. So there's definitely a chance of things linking up a little bit better there on the 10th and 11th here. The track looks like it's heading mostly into the central plains instead of the northern plains. And then more cold air advection to start the week, and here comes the next system coming in a little faster for Thursday and Friday the 16th. This one looks like it goes a little bit further. Thought it was a little further south, but it looks like it's popping up around Nebraska, and I think that's due to this negative, very strong negative tilt going on right there. All right, I did bring up the other products for dew point. Let's show that. This has some bearing on the severe weather Sunday. You'll notice here at Saturday evening, 6 p.m., we've only got 40s dew points up to Oklahoma, low 50s dew points there, and then high 50s coming into central Texas. So it looks like this moisture is going to be a little bit weak to return. Starting at 12Z, 60s are only making it up to about Fort Worth there, and we're starting out with 50s, which is usually not a great sign. And we managed to squeak up, I guess, some 60s by the afternoon, but that could very well be a close one. And this shows us that the dry line, GFS putting that from about Clinton down to about Stamford and back to west of San Angelo there. And then the main cold front, that's well out to the west there. So, I don't know, if you want to go north, there's a little triple point action. On the other hand, that moisture is terrible. 40s dew points up there near that triple point. So we're going to be dealing with pretty much a pure dry line here on Sunday. And it's only Monday that that cold front finally catches up to the dry line. That looks like that happens overnight going into Monday morning. So that's the cold front. And there it goes, heading into the southeast U.S. for Tuesday. Okay, that's about all I got for tonight. I appreciate you watching the webcast. Forgot to take a look at chat. Let me just take a quick look. A little discussion there about storms. Your work on deleting the background white noise has worked out great. Yeah, I had the wrong microphone turned on. Many trees, Chesapeake Bay, Atlantic Ocean, mucking at mesoscale pattern situations. That from Jeff Krob there. And very good. Anyway, have a good evening and take care, and we'll see you tomorrow.